My name is Molly Hampton, and I am the Global Marketing Manager for Hot Wheels Entertainment, and I will be your moderator today for this year's first ever San Diego Comic-Con at Home Hot Wheels panel. Today, I am joined by three huge San Diego Comic-Con fans that also happen to be Hot Wheels designers. So what do we have in store for you all today? Well, this morning, we'll be taking a look at this year's Hot Wheels Comic-Con exclusives, giving you all a sneak peek at what's to come in the world of Hot Wheels. And finally, we'll be answering some of the fans' most important questions that we have collected straight from the Hot Wheels channel. So before we get started, let's take a moment to introduce these gentlemen. First up is Bryan Benedict, Senior Manager of All Vehicles Design, who oversees every segment of Hot Wheels Diecast. Bryan, thank you for joining us this morning. Please tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Molly. Appreciate it. It's great to be here. I am, like you said, Molly, I'm the head of diecast design for Hot Wheels. I've been at Mattel and Hot Wheels for 15 years now, and I actually came from the car industry. So I spent 10 years in the car industry before coming here. But my real passion is in entertainment and pop culture. So working here is a perfect blend of my two loves of cars and pop culture. So I've been involved in our Comic-Con efforts for several years now, and it's just been such a blast. And I love Comic-Con so much. I bring my family every single year, and we were so sad to not be able to go in person this year. But it's always such an exciting environment, and it really inspires me and helps feed into the awesome creations that we do here at Hot Wheels.
Yeah, totally. I know you're quite a fan favorite at Comic-Con. Coming up for autographs.
Yeah, it's always fun. I'm
Awesome.
nobody though.
Thanks, Bryan. Okay, so moving right along to the manager of vehicles design for entertainment and monster trucks, we have Chris Colangelo. Chris, can you give our viewers a little background on your life at Hot Wheels?
Sure, thanks, Molly. So I've been a designer at Hot Wheels for, I think this is my 7th year now. I've been a toy designer for 14, so I've always been into toys. And like Bryan, I am obsessed with Comic-Con. This is my 3rd year as the design lead for all the Hot Wheels Comic-Con items, but it's kind of cool getting to work on the exclusive instead of having to wait in line for the exclusives, if that makes sense. I mean, you Comic-Con guys will know. It's a big change from having to stand in line and having people wait and kind of get your item. It's really cool. But yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yes, no, totally. I think we are definitely spoiled in the fact that we do get to see everything that's coming out on the market before our fans do. So thank you, Chris. And last but not least, we have Sam Kok. So a key lead on the vehicle's design packaging team, and he also works a lot on the product for the wonderful world of entertainment with me personally. Sam, thank you so much for joining us, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thanks, Molly. So yeah, my name is Sam, and I work on the packaging designer for the licensed entertainment. And it's funny, like I was looking at my computer, it was like when I first started this, it was all the way in 2014 when Character Cards actually established itself. And I was looking like, oh my God, that's a long time. And I was also texting my friend, they say, hey, because one of the things I look forward to every year is to go to Comic-Con. And I was texting my friends like, hey, we used to go to Comic-Con like at the very beginning stage. It's like, remember what year it was? It was like all the way in 2004. So, you know, do the math. I think I've been going to Comic-Con every year for 15 years. And every time I go, it's always a pleasure. And now that I get the chance to work on all the exclusive packaging, it's been like a dream of mine. So it's been awesome to have, you know, to be part of the team and to be working on awesome packaging for all the products that we do. So.
But yeah, that's really cool. It's actually a really good point that you bring up. When character cars were started, Toy Story was actually the first character cars that we ever did, and aligning right with the movie, and it kind of just started off a whole hit. So great fun fact, Sam. Thanks for bringing that up.
All about fun facts.
And totally off the cuff too, which I genuinely appreciate. Now let's dive right into why we are here today, Comic-Con. Every year, Hot Wheels brings you the coolest and most sought-after vehicles in the entire pop culture landscape, and today is no different. Kicking it off with Lucasfilm, I'm going to have Chris Colangelo walk you through the Star Wars Hot Wheels 2020 Comic-Con exclusive, a true celebration of Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, thanks, Molly. So this being the 40th anniversary of Empire, my personal favorite Star Wars movie, we wanted to do a really unique, cool exclusive. We wanted to recreate a scene, one of the more memorable scenes from the movie. There's a lot to pick from between, the storm on Hothwell, the AT-ATs, Cloud City, all kinds of cool stuff. But what we ultimately thought was the coolest was Luke on Dagobah with Yoda. So what we wanted to do was recreate that magic scene where Yoda lifts the X-Wing out of the swamp on Dagobah. So what we were able to do was make this really awesome package. So when you first get it, the X-Wing will be kind of in the lake at the bottom. You won't fully see it, but there's a little lever on the side of the box. When you lift it, the X-Wing will actually lift up out of the swamp. And in the foreground, you have kind of the silhouettes of Luke and Yoda. So we made this really cool diorama where you could actually recreate that scene and really celebrate that 40th anniversary.
But I totally agree. I think this is one of those items that was a no-brainer for Hot Wheels to do a starship and doing it how we do best. Sam, do you want to speak to the overall packaging a little bit?
So we came up with this, I think, some time ago. We worked closely with Lucasfilm and especially with Chris Durd in terms of how this works. And we were really pleased in terms of everyone's participation in making this like one of the most awesome packaging, reveal of the X-Wing for our Comic-Con fans, because Comic-Con is all about the the exclusives, and most of the time people buy the packaging and the product and they say, oh, I'm not going to take the product out because it's so cool. So it's one of the things we do every year to make sure that everything is well made and top quality and it's for the fans.
Yeah, and the fact too that it's interactive makes it even more awesome, because you get to be Yoda. You get to lift the X-Wing out of the swamp. So it that makes it even that much more cool.
Yes, it's like you're using the force, but with your hand, like lifting it up.
A little bit of force.
Yeah, a little bit of force.
I love that. Totally. Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. I think the overall execution is really crisp. It's really premium. And I think our Star Wars fans and Hot Wheels fans alike will love this item. Bryan?
Yeah, it's so awesome. I mean, Empire is my favorite movie, definitely. And that's such an iconic scene. And so to get to do that, as a Hot Wheels item is so cool, and there's no better person to execute it than Chris Colangelo. It's such an awesome execution from Chris's design to the packaging team's execution. It's just phenomenal.
I totally agree. Next up, we have Marvel. Again, I'm going to have Chris start us off with this one, and I will share my screen.
Doing a Marvel exclusive, we wanted to do something really fun. We always try to do something really fun and kind of quirky for Marvel, because people just appreciate the fun humor in all the Marvel movies. So with this one, we were trying to figure out an idea what to do for Comic-Con. A bunch of the designers just went to go see, the last Avengers movie, and we all came out, we're like, that was so cool. And then one of the designers, Gabe, was like, oh, we need to make that car with Hulk and Rocket. I'm like, you know what? We definitely do. So I kind of pitched it around, finally got everybody super excited about it, and we're able to turn that iconic scene of Rocket and Hulk driving up to New Asgard in the back of that Land Rover. It's just a really cool, fun moment in the movie, and we just wanted to capture that. So it's got a really cool package. We did a really good collaboration between my team and Bryan's team, who'll go into more of that. We have our resident Land Rover expert sculptor, Daniel Lopez, kind of knock out the sculpt, and then Dima on Bryan's team really fine-tuned it just to make sure it's really accurate. But I think we were successful in really capturing on how fun that scene is, and one of the most memorable scenes from that movie.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like Chris said, we all went as a team to watch Endgame together. And I remember when that scene first popped up, we all just looked at each other and cracked up. I mean, seeing Hulk back there with Rocket in the back of the Land Rover heading to New Asgard was just such a memorable scene. So it made sense for us to replicate that in a really cool diorama set, as you can see from the image. It really captures what you see in the film. And Chris mentioned Dima was the designer on the vehicle side. He is a huge Land Rover fan. He even owns a Land Rover Defender himself. So it made sense for him to be the guy to really make sure the accuracy of the vehicle itself was there.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the comparison of Hulk sitting in the back of the truck, Rocket just being so little. I mean, I remember being in that theater and I was cracking up. It's just so funny, the discrepancy between the two sizes.
Yeah.
It leads into such a hilarious moment with Thor too. So again, I totally agree with you guys. I think this was really fun. And I think also too, and you know, these items that we do they're true to the property, true to the fan, but also I think we do a really good job of making them fun. I think Hot Wheels makes, you know, not only just overall cool, but I think we don't take ourselves too seriously and we keep things pretty light and pretty fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, like, oh, you want more fun facts?
Yeah, of course, always.
Go, Sam, do it.
So just to give you a little bit behind the scenes since how we come up with the packaging, and when Chris and Brian brought up this idea of this Thor and Rocket Hulk and Rocket going to visit Thor in New Asgard, we're thinking like, oh my God, how are we going to capture that scene that was in the movie, because it has such a nice landscape and cinematography, and wanted to make sure that we capture that. So we have our package designer, amazing package designer, Florence Joe, and we have our spectacular packaging engineer, Chris Hawkins. They came up with some sketches, and we're actually inspired by some of the dioramas that we went to Little Tokyo and we saw a little diorama of like some figures, and we're like, oh my God, that looks so cool that we can actually talk about, you know, building that whole scene by using this kind of technique. So they went to amazing feat in terms of like working with the plans and everything, coming up with this amazing ideas, and then they try to make it work. And I think they did a spectacular job in order to illustrate that whole, you know, scene. And it's supposed to be whimsical, and what we're trying to do is to capture that. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point, Sam. I don't think everyone really realizes how many hands are truly on all of these different amazing products. The fact that we have so many incredible designers with just insane amount of automotive experience, like Brian was speaking to, but we also have people that are working on track sets and play sets, and the packaging team is no different. I mean, I personally feel super lucky that I get to work with 3 different cross-functionals across design and packaging and engineering and everybody else, but there's a ton of love and a ton of people that work on these things. So you bring up a great point, just with Flo and with Chris and everybody else. So great point. Okay, so moving right along into possibly what our fans and collectors are the second most excited for is the Hot Wheels sneaks. As a thank you to all of you for joining us today, we want to show you some vehicles that will be hitting the market later this fall, and also a few sneaks from spring 21. So I want to kick this off by letting you know that we'll not only be showing some really great entertainment exclusives, but first we actually have some sneaks of our premium line, and that starts with modern classics. So Sam and Brian, I would love for you guys to speak to this. I'm going to share my screen of some of the photos of what's to come.
All right. Yeah. So the Modern Classics line is really a line of vehicles that celebrate, you know, a lot of the cool popular trends with modern classic vehicles. You know, some of the Japanese tuner vehicles, some Euro tuner vehicles. Some, you know, Hot Wheels, we're everywhere that's cool in car culture, you know, and we have specific lines that focus on each of those cool genres. And so this one really celebrates some iconic cars. All right, so this line features several iconic vehicles like the 98 Subaru Impreza, classic Mercedes-Benz. We've got the VW Jetta, and one of my personal favorites, the Nissan Silvia. And then this Honda Civic featuring Hello Kitty. We just recently partnered with Sanrio, and I know Sam is particularly excited about this. I'm going to let him talk about that.
I'm super excited that we're partnering with Sanrio. It's always been a great, you know, company to work with in terms of like, it's like so many memorable characters, right? They have like, you know, My Melody, Little Twin Stars, they have Keropi, they have Pochacco, obviously you have Hello Kitty, and one of my top all-time favorites, Gudetama. And just another fun fact, like I visited Tokyo like a year ago, and my friends say, "Oh, go visit a temple or something." I was like, "Yeah, cool." So I visited one temple, and then I said, "Well, I'm just gonna go visit Hello Kitty Land," and it turned out to be amazing. I saw all these characters. I was like, "Oh wow!" It's like I hope we get to work with them. And lo and behold, a year after that, it's like I'm so happy that we got to work with Sanrio because all these characters are just amazing, and kids will love it.
Yes, you bring up a great point. Yeah, working not only as Sanrio working with Hot Wheels, but also Mattel as a greater company. And we have some amazing character cars for spring. I think these concepts are just so, for lack of a better word for Hot Wheels, so cute. So Brian, if you want to walk us through some of these, that would be great.
Yeah, just like Sam said, I mean, we were so excited to get to work with these characters. They're so much fun. So for all of the characters, we really wanted to take inspiration from Japanese vehicle design to really celebrate where these characters come from. And in this case, again, taking inspiration from Japanese design, this car is really inspired by some of the vehicles you might have seen at the Tokyo Motor Show, like autonomous vehicles. And in this particular case, we're really capturing the lazy egg quality of Gudetama's character. It's kind of drooping and got that sort of sad face.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
Brian, I totally agree. I think this is so fun. I mean, just looking at it makes me smile, and obviously Chris and Sam too. I think you guys did a great job. And not only that, but it's so different from what we have done in a lot of character cars. So I think that's really special for this one in particular. But obviously we all love this one because we guessed.
Love it.
Okay, so one movie that I am so excited for this year, I think it is going to be so great. The first one was incredible, or should I say wonderful? We have product for this within Hot Wheels. I know my designers are rolling right now. But we have product for it within Hot Wheels, which was not only within our premium segment, but also our character segment. So I do have some sneaks to show you with our Wonder Woman jet that is going to be in the Wonder Woman 84 movie that we will be seeing this fall. Again, I think the packaging is super fun, something that we know that our collectors love, specifically when it's a replica entertainment just like this one. But not only that, we also have character cars that will be coming out for Wonder Woman. We'll be featuring Wonder Woman herself. We'll also be featuring her in her gold armor, as well as Kristen Wiig playing Cheetah. And Brian, do you want to fill us in on any of those details with Cheetah and the gold armor?
Yeah, I actually happen to have both samples right here in front of me. Golden Armor Wonder Woman and Cheetah right here. So I'll start with Golden Armor Wonder Woman. With this one, we were really inspired by the original Wonder Woman character car that we had designed for the first Wonder Woman movie. And then imagine if that car had golden armor over the top of it. So you can see we've captured the wings there of her armor on the rear deck. And Charlie Angelo is the designer who designed this one. And he did an excellent job of capturing the look of Wonder Woman's armor. In this particular case here, we've got Cheetah. We were inspired by an 80s era exotic car like a Lamborghini Countach or something like that. That made sense since the movie does take place in the 80s. So really wanted to play off of that. I know that was an important part of the theming of the movie. Tyler Jerez designed this vehicle, and it's a lot of fun. You can even see the tail of Cheetah there in the back as the exhaust pipes. This is such a cool car. I would want to drive it myself.
Same, yes. But yeah, the cars are great. Again, I think this is just one of those really fantastic ways that we're able to execute on some fan favorite characters, especially from a movie as great as Wonder Woman. So thank you for sharing with us. Okay, so digging into the gaming world, we are going to be introducing Overwatch to you all this fall with product coming out just a few months away. So with that, I wanted to give you guys a sneak of some of those characters and Sam, I know that you are an avid gaming fan, so if you walk us through what makes some of these characters really great, that would be fantastic. And we can actually start with Genji.
Oh my God, we're gonna talk about Genji. Holy crap! So, this is an amazing, amazing character coming from the Overwatch and line of amazing characters, and we always have difficulty trying to figure out which characters to use, and Genji was one of the top pick. Product did a wonderful, rendition of that, like capturing the aesthetics of what Genji represents with metallic and being, a ninja, and it's very sleek, and the colors are perfect the way it is, and I can't wait to see this in final production.
Yes, and then we also have Soldier 76 coming, which again, I'll show you guys a quick sneak peek of what to expect for this vehicle as well.
Wow, this totally captures the character very well. Soldier 76 has one of been a favorite. I mean, he's one of the characters that in the game, when you do your training, that's the first character you play with, and because it has such easy controls and everything. So being transformed into this wonderful, design vehicle by the product team is just great, because it just tells you how much they're into, where they're, developing a car, changing like a character into a car. They look into a lot of things, like, how it captures the personality of it. And we work closely with Blizzard, and they're such wonderful people to work with, and they give us a lot of insights in terms of like, what this character is, certain things. They're all into the details. So we're really, really happy to work with them and, to get this amazing result.
Yeah, I agree. I think Blizzard was one of those teams that we were able to kind of like literally sit in a room with. And I remember Bryan and them just like hashing out these ideas together. And the collaboration was really, really cool. But last but not least, I know, Sam, we would be doing a disservice. We didn't show your favorite character.
Oh my God, who could it be?
And who is that? Of course, is Diva.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about Diva?
Diva, Anyang, well, she's Korean. She's one of my favorite characters to play, because she drives actually a mecha, and she has very nice colors, and she's like an adorable character. A lot of fans love it, and to see that being translated into a vehicle is just it's just amazing. Because for all you Diva fans out there, you won't be disappointed, because we, as I said, we work with Blizzard very closely, and the designers there work with Bryan, and we all came up with something really cool that we hope fans will love, because this is just it's just if you're really a big fan, you look at it and say, oh my God, even though you don't know which cars, because sometimes you put out cars and you have a lot of colors, it's like, oh, what character is this? But when we put this one out, you definitely know, because all the colors are there, the aesthetics and everything, and how the shape of the car is and all that, and it's going to be wonderful. I wish you guys could see it, but it's not, we can't show that right now.
I actually have the first shot here. If you know anything about first shots, they're not in the actual colors that the car will be, so you don't see the colors of Diva here. But even without the colors, I think you can really see the look of the character comes through in the vehicle design. She's done as like a Asian tuner car, and you can see the antenna here on the sides, and it's this really techie looking, really advanced. So it's a lot of fun. Lindsay Lee designed this one.
Our partnership with Blizzard and Overwatch actually kicked off in the spring with the themed assortment exclusive to Walmart, and now the character cars will be available for the first time this fall and also on the Blizzard Gear Store. Up next, we have some sneaks from Nickelodeon. If you don't know, last year we had the creator of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with Kevin Eastman come to the booth and do some signings for Turtles. So we were super thrilled to execute on some additional Nickelodeon properties. They have, again, been incredible to work with. So with that, I'm going to toss it over to Chris to take a look at the Replica Entertainment Premium item that we have.
So yeah, so one of the properties we kind of really, or shows from Nickelodeon that we wanted to execute on was maybe one of my favorite from when I was younger, Rugrats. And specifically the Rugrats movie. So as you can see here, we're going to be doing a replica of the Reptar mobile from the movie. It's really awesome. It's super fun. It's really cool. And I think it's just a really great thing to add to our portfolio.
Yeah, totally. And I think with this item, it's just so fun. I mean, the vehicle itself, I think just really encapsulates what the Reptar Wagon is, and again, just the true spirit of Rugrats. But not only that, within Premium, we are also executing within our character cars, of course, bringing these characters to life. So with that, Brian, if you want to take away this next sneak I'm going to show with the one, the only Chucky Finster.
All right. Yeah. So with Chucky, we really wanted to capture his sort of over-the-top personality in the vehicle type we chose. So we went with this like sort of surf dune buggy that lent itself to capturing like his spiky hair with the tips of the surfboard, and his glasses executed as the framing of the front windshield. It's a really, really fun item. And even we've even captured his sort of buck teeth with the way we incorporated the fog lights up front.
Yes, definitely. And not only that, but what would Chucky be without the dynamic duo of Tommy and Chucky? So up next, I wanted to share with you all Tommy Pickles.
Yes, another one of my favorites. So of course, Tommy is executed as a dump truck, and of course he has a full load. So we had a lot of fun with that one in the design studio. And the way the cab is executed, you can definitely get a sense of sort of the shape of Tommy's head, and with the windshield, the split windshield, sort of, you know, representing his expression. So yeah, a lot of fun with this one for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when you first showed me this concept and I couldn't stop laughing. It was a perfect representation of combining that one automobile and that one character that just is that great marriage of the two together.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so Nickelodeon, again, great stuff coming out. That'll be within spring of 21. Right now, we are going to transition into Mario Kart. So as some of you may know, we released our Mario Kart line for the first time in 2019 in the summer. And it has been just an amazing partnership with Nintendo. I'm sure we have tons of Nintendo fans out there. And we wanted to share with you all today some sneak peeks of what we're working on coming for fall and spring within our Hot Wheels Mario Kart line. Chris, take it away.
Sure. So I kind of want to just show you some fun stuff, new stuff that's coming up. Some new drivers, some new karts, some other little surprises. But let's see what we got up first here. So we're introducing a couple new drivers this year. Here are two of them. So first up, we have a fan favorite, Cat Peach. I love Cat Peach. I know a lot of people love Cat Peach. But as you can see, you're here driving the standard kart. That'll be one new driver that we're doing. And then we're also doing a new driver and a new kart in Diddy Kong. So Diddy Kong has been a favorite character of mine all the way back since the original Donkey Kong Country. Love Diddy Kong. I'm really happy that we're able to bring him into the line, and he's going to be driving the pipe frame kart. Again, a really stable, standard kart from Mario Kart, everybody's favorite pipe frame. It's been around since the very beginning. Again, we're super excited that we're able to bring these two drivers and that new kart into the line.
Yeah, and I think that brings up just a great point, especially the fact that the diecast line itself actually won Toy of the Year for the vehicles category last year. So you know that the quality and the love was truly put behind this item, and the partnership, again, with Nintendo has just been so much fun, especially for me with two older brothers getting my butt kicked, quite frankly, on just about any Mario Kart game I ever played. So definitely a really fun execution there. And thank you for sharing some of those new characters. But not only that, we are introducing a new diecast item to the assortment. Chris, take it away.
So so like Molly said, we're gonna have a whole new segment within our line. We kind of played with this a little bit with our Comic-Con exclusive last year by including the glider. We had such a huge response on the glider itself that we wanted to kind of incorporate it into our main line. So we're going to have a whole segment just of karts paired with gliders and drivers. So here's a sneak peek at two of them. The first one is going to be Toad in the P-Wing kart, and he's going to have the plane glider. And then the second sneak peek that we have for you is Yoshi in the sports coupe with the Powerfoil glider. These are super cool. The gliders are removable, so the carts will still work on all our awesome track sets. But they're going to be super authentic. They're going to look like they just came right out of the game and still have that really cool Hot Wheels performance.
Yes, exactly. And great point. We did do the gold Mario and the silver Mario as 2 Hot Wheels exclusives last year, which did incredibly well. And I think it really resonated with the fans. So we had a lot of fun with those executions as well. Last but not least, we have a special execution that we're doing for the character Yoshi. So Chris, take it away.
Thanks, Molly. So yeah, there's a lot of great different Yoshis out there, and we wanted to make a really cool way to deliver all of them to you guys. So what we're going to do is have a blind execution. There's going to be a Yoshi egg. Each Yoshi egg is going to have 1 Yoshi in it with the standard cart. The top of the egg actually comes off, and you can have Yoshi be displayed at the bottom of the egg, like you can see there in the picture. But 8 of those Yoshis will be available. You can see them here, everywhere from yellow to blue to pink to orange. You're not going to know which one you're getting. Every egg will look like the normal Yoshi egg, and it's going to come in that really cool CDU you see there. So all the Yoshis will be on the front. There's no mistaking what it is, and it's really going to give collectors and fans and kids the opportunity to have all of their favorite Yoshis.
Thanks, Chris. I know how much love that you put into this brand, and I know how much Hot Wheels just loves working on the Mario Kart items themselves. So I think this will be a huge hit, and I can't wait for our fans to get a hold of these. So now let's take a look at some Masters of the Universe sneaks coming to Hot Wheels. We have some great characters that are being featured in fall of this year. So with that, Bryan, take it away on the character cars.
Yeah, so starting out here, we've got Skeletor. With this one, we wanted to base it on a sort of a rough and rugged rat rod type vehicle. We felt that was right for the personality of this character. I love the way Charlie has incorporated his cowl into the main cabin area. And then you've got the glowing red eyes as the windshield. And then out back, you can see the ram's head of his staff. And then one of my personal favorites is that iconic sort of face up front in the grill. And with He-Man, we wanted to represent that strength and power of the character. And so, what better way to do that than with a really tough muscle car? But in this case, it's sort of a rugged off-road muscle car to really capture the character himself. And we've got up front, we've got sort of the hood tie downs represented as the straps of his costume, and then we've even incorporated sort of like his iconic bob hairstyle in the way the roof is executed. So there's a little bit of a lip on the bottom of that to really get a sense of his hair. And then out back, you can actually see his battle axe as the rear spoiler. And of course, wouldn't be complete without the sword, which is represented as a graphic along the side of the body.
I can't wait for Mattel and Hot Wheels to start releasing all of the great Motu product we have planned. I know the fans have just been clamoring for it for months, if not years. So I can't wait for these classic characters to hit shelf this fall.
Yeah, for sure. I'm excited too.
Okay, shifting gears into our Disney classics. I know this has been a huge hit with fans. We ended up sneaking some amazing vehicles last year at Comic-Con, and with that, we actually brought to life the fan choice with Wall-E, which I know people have just been going nuts for. So let's show you some sneak peeks. Bryan, take it away.
Yeah, so let's start out with Snow White here, one of my personal favorites. So I actually designed this one myself, and Snow White has always been one of my favorite characters. I think my mom actually saw Snow White in the theater in 1938. So, it sort of holds a special place in my heart. Being a movie from 1938, I was inspired by 1938 vehicles. And in fact, I get super nerdy about this kind of stuff. So, I dig really deep. And so I even, thought about, well, the story itself is a German fairy tale, so I was specifically inspired by German cars from 1938. And so It's kind of like referencing a Mercedes 540K. Obviously capturing the iconic sort of color break of her dress. And then some added elements that I've included is the heart-shaped grill actually references Love's First Kiss. And then we've even added a nice little Easter egg of the apple with a bite taken out of it as a hood ornament up front. And it's just had a lot of fun with this one. There's a lot of details all over it that are just kind of subtle little details. Even if you look sort of on the chassis, on the frame, there's 7 little louvers on the side that represent the 7 dwarves. So that's how nerdy I get with this stuff.
I think that really just shows your love for the franchise. But to that point, like it's totally spot on. It's sleek, it's cool, it's classic. I mean, I think that's what people think when they think Snow White. It's just the ultimate classic princess character.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we have one more to show for Disney. And this one I just think is just so well done. So with that, Brian, take it away for Bruce.
Yeah, so Charlie Angelo executed Bruce. And again, he gets pretty nerdy about this stuff too. So with him being a water-based character, we kind of referenced water vehicles. So it's like an amphibious vehicle, like kind of those duck trucks that you see running around. So it's got that sort of, those trucks naturally have that sort of boat-shaped front, which lends itself to Bruce's nose. And then you got that sort of ominous sort of grin up front as the grill, which I think Charlie did an excellent job of sort of capturing in a way that isn't too literal as teeth. And then you got all these little details that you see in the film stored in the back. There's a little open bed area in the back that has the life preserver and a landmine or water mine, whatever you call that, and even a surfboard out the back. So a lot of fun little details in this one.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think this will be a perfect complement to the Nemo and Dory in our line. And I hope and think that fans will love this one as well. Okay, so moving right along, we know that we shared our Comic-Con exclusive for Marvel, but we obviously would doing ourselves disservice if we didn't highlight the Black Widow theatrical that's coming out at the end of this year. So with that, we have a really fun execution with one of the villains of the movie. And with that, I will share and let Brian take a look at Taskmaster.
Yeah, definitely. So we have Taskmaster here. This is Tyler Shrest's design, really capturing the look of the character, of his armor. You've got the sort of sinister looking cowl area, and you can see his weaponry sort of represented along the body side. Yeah, this is a really cool character, really kind of a tough looking character. And I think Tyler did an amazing job of sort of bringing it to life in car form.
Yes, totally. I think 2020 is one of those years that will have some amazing female superheroes coming out this year. So I can't wait to see those movies as well as celebrate the new characters within our line. And last, but certainly not least, this is one that has just completely taken the world by storm. So with that, Brian, I am going to just toss it over to you. And I think this one is pretty self-explanatory, but let me know what you think.
Yes, the child. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with this one, and we really scrambled to get it out as quickly as we could. We were so excited to do this character. One really fun thing that we incorporated in this is sort of a surprise little feature in this car. So when you roll it along, you'll actually see the roof will bob up and down, almost as if the little baby is kind of peeking up out of the pram. So it's really cool the way it's executed, and just a fun little feature. You can see, of course, the ears are sort of represented as like little intakes on the side, and the windshield obviously represents its eyes. You even have an indication of its tiny little hands in the headlight openings.
Yes, totally. I know Lucasfilm is beyond thrilled with how the child has resonated. I personally am super excited for the new Mandalorian season to come out this October, and the child character car itself will be available in spring of 21. To Brian's point, and if you guys aren't aware, within diecast, character cars actually have anywhere from a 14 to 18 month development timeline. So it's something that we definitely try and push as much as we can in execution. But when we can execute on such great characters like this, I think it makes all the difference. And just tying in, if you guys didn't know, Mattel also offers one of the most incredible items for the child with the plush item that I'm sure you all have seen. But again, just a really fun character. And Brian, I love the way that your team executed this as well.
Awesome, thanks.
Okay, all right. That wraps up all of the sneaks that we have for you all. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. I personally love just seeing the designers kind of talk through their inspiration. I hope you saw just from how Brian spoke about some of these and with Chris and Sam is that there is so much passion on the team bringing these to life, not only within character cars, but also within replica entertainment and all of our amazing diecast segments. As you can see, we have so many great things coming, not only for this fall, but through 2021 to excite the Hot Wheels collectors and fans alike. All right, and in finishing up today's panel, I want to take some time to answer those pressing questions that everyone submitted to our Hot Wheels channel a few weeks ago. Thank you all for the amazing submissions. First up, at Easy896 asks, how long does it take to design a fantasy car from scratch? Brian, do you want to answer this one?
Yeah, sure. That's a great question. So basically, it takes about 14 to 18 months to design a car from scratch. That's from the very first ideation sketches through the sculpting process, and then we turn it over to our development engineers and go through the whole development process of working out all the bugs and making sure everything comes together well to final product on shelf.
Yes, I know, like I mentioned, the design process is so intense, especially when we're working with a licensor, of course. We want to make sure that everything is totally up to par and up to their quality expectation.
On that note, yeah, so sometimes working with licensors, we don't always get the assets as early as we need to, just because of the movie timing versus our timing. And so sometimes we have to compress that schedule a little bit more, but 14 to 18 months is the general rule of thumb.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I know our schedule is definitely a lot longer than some of the other timelines for theatricals, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. Our next question is from @Tormam Schuster. Forgive me if I read that incorrectly. How did the idea of karts come about? I think they're talking about Mario Karts. Chris, do you want to handle this one?
Sure. Yeah. So Hot Wheels was already kind of doing a little bit of a partnership with Nintendo with Brian's team doing character cars, but we know we wanted to do more. And the thing that made the most sense combining with Hot Wheels was Mario Kart. I mean, it just lends itself so well to what we do in our toys. It was really a no-brainer. And then I wanted to really push it even further and made sure that these karts perform like they do on the game, and then also perform like other cars and Hot Wheels tracks. So it really was just like a no-brainer for us. And in the end, the end result was just awesome.
Yes, I completely agree. I feel so lucky to work on that brand with you guys and the team, and I think these are just one of the coolest, replica diecast karts that we've ever done. Okay, so next question @Mubith Sidhir asks, when will we get a Hot Wheels movie? I can actually answer that one. So we do have a Hot Wheels movie that's in development with Warner Brothers, which is really exciting. Again, I think it's just going to be great bringing to life this amazing brand. We want to make sure, of course, that it is exactly right and it lives up to the brand. So we can't announce timing on this yet, but just know that we are working on it. Next question @I'm Ree Shapiro. What car was the most difficult to design? Brian, do you have one that you're maybe thinking of for this?
Yeah, actually, I have one in mind. Funny enough, the one I have in mind is actually what appears to be the simplest car. the Minecraft minecart. You know, it's basically just a block, right? But it was particularly challenging because for a couple of reasons. One, we wanted to be as accurate to the game as possible. And yet in the game, the minecart doesn't actually have wheels. So we had to figure out how do we incorporate the wheels in there and get it to roll and perform well on track, because we were going to be doing sets along with this, and still feel as true as possible to the minecart in the game. And so we made these notched sort of fender openings to incorporate the smallest wheel possible. And then the other thing was we wanted to be able to fit in any figure or as many figures as possible from our minifig line in Minecraft. And so we created this little system that had like these sort of fingers that would hold the figure inside the cart, and designed that specifically in an optimal way to be able to incorporate as many of those figures as possible. And so that was particularly challenging, just to get all that to work and to make it read well as the cart and be a high performance vehicle.
Yeah, I think just listening to the way that you're speaking about it shows all the different complexities that I don't think people realize goes into something as easy as, you know, a block or a cart would be. So I think that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, to most people, it's just a square, right?
Yeah. And honestly, 5 years ago when I didn't work for Hot Wheels, I probably would have thought the same thing.
Yep.
Next up at Domo Dude 120, how do designers get their inspiration at Hot Wheels? Chris, do you want to take this one?
Sure. A lot of it comes, well, it depends on what we're doing. So I get, luckily for me, I get to work on stuff that I love, like video games and entertainment properties. So being a fan, a lot of my inspiration comes from kind of what would I want to buy if I was buying this item. So just to make really fun stuff, just like, you know, I'm a huge fan of Mario Kart, so I want to make sure these things are as accurate to the game as possible. I love movies and pop culture, so when it comes to Comic-Con, I want to, you know, make things that I like that I know other fans would like. So again, it just comes from, you know, having a deep love for the stuff that I work on, and then also being on the other end of it, knowing what I would like to have as well.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point. I mean, just when you guys did your introductions at the beginning, you can tell there's just so much love, not only for entertainment, which I think, you know, really shows, especially with Comic-Con, but to Brian's point too, is just the automotive backgrounds of so many of our designers, which they can really help translate into overall Hot Wheels and just really, truly bring that to life. Brian, Sam, anything else to add on that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit on it. You know, my team are all hardcore car enthusiasts, and so they take that inspiration and put it into the work they do. A lot of my guys have car builds that they're actually working on, and so you know, they're really immersed in the world and really entrenched in sort of the industry, and so a lot of the inspiration comes from there, and we're just constantly looking out or at the world around us, even non-automotive stuff and non-entertainment related stuff. You know, I'm sitting here looking out at the trees and the birds and stuff, and I get inspiration from that as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah, same here. I mean, in terms of inspiration, when we do packaging, we tend to look like different, you know, areas of things that inspire us. You know, where we go to when we go shopping, when we look at other licenses, when we look at their properties, we look at other studios, we look at, you know, everything, you know, because we want to make sure that we have a broad range of ideas and not just like, you know, hey, let's come up with a box, but, you know, in a way we want to make sure that we you know, cater to what fans love and what we love, because we're all collectors in many ways. So
yeah, I think Hot Wheels especially, I mean, being the #1 vehicles brand in the world, loves to, you know, push the limits and make sure that we are truly exploring all of those really great facets. I think one of the great things too is just that there's so many other toys out there and other vehicles out there that also are doing the same thing. So I think everyone just kind of constantly pushing the limits and testing each other and just really capitalizing on making, you know, the coolest possible vehicles and the coolest possible toys. I think it's just a really great, and kudos to you all, because I think it's just a super special talent that you all have been able to bring to the overall brand.
No, thanks, Molly.
Thanks, Molly.
All right, next question. At Finner White, will you make the Tesla Cybertruck die-cast car, please? Well, since you asked so nicely, I think I can answer this one. We do have the Tesla Cybertruck coming out in our Hot Wheels ID line. I cannot reveal the timing of the release of this vehicle, but do know that we are planning on having it within our Hot Wheels ID line. So can't wait for that one, and please be on the lookout. Next question at Paragon Aviation. Why are Hot Wheels so awesome? I mean, I think I know why Hot Wheels are so awesome, but do you guys want to answer that one for me?
Well, I think, you know, it kind of goes back to what we were just talking about with the inspiration and the team being such fans of not only, you know, the entertainment space, but the automotive space as well. And, you know, we work really hard to make sure everything we do feels authentic, you know, and I think we're really the only toy vehicle brand out there that has that level of authenticity when it comes to not only replication, but what we call Hot Wheels originals, you know, designs that come from our own crazy minds that don't exist out there in the real world. Even when we're doing those fantasy vehicles, they're really rooted in authenticity in the real world. And so you'll see elements like some of what we described with some of the character cars earlier today. There's elements that are pulling from the real world, so that makes them resonate with people, right? So you take a look at it and you're like, oh, I get it. I see why that's like that, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I think that's a big part of what makes Hot Wheels special.
Yeah. Sam?
So what can I say about Hot Wheels? It's just amazing. Growing up as a kid, playing Hot Wheels cars, I always play it alongside with action figures. And what I did is I reenact scenes, in the movie and try to, play with cars and everything. I would look at it, oh yeah, it's a toy car and everything. But as you grow up and you work in Hot Wheels, you tend to look at the cars closely, and you're just amazed with all the details that is in the car, because a lot of the product designers put a lot of time into making everything look right. Because if as the fans, when they look at it, if they see something that's not right, they'll point us out to it, and it's like, oh no. But most of the time we're really into it, so really pay attention. So I really admire the whole community of Hot Wheels, in which everyone's looking out for each other and trying to make this the best toy product, the best they can. And that's why we gravitate to that, and it's just amazing.
All right, and our last question of this Q&A panel is from TRDM at Lambo87. How many cars do you guys think you make a year? Well, I actually had to go and look this up because we have so many different die-cast segments, from basics to premium to monster trucks to character cars. We actually release over 1,000 different cars and vehicles per year. And not only that, but we produce about 500 million cars per year. These numbers are astronomical. I was so surprised when I saw them. It just goes to show the amount of work our designers are doing, the great production and distribution that we have. It also just helps tell the story of why our basics line is the #1 selling toy in the entire world. But not only that, we actually sell about 16.5 cars per second, which I think is just so cool and just so special. I will literally never forget when I first told my mom when I had just started working at Hot Wheels. She was so proud. She told all of her friends, and the first thing they all say to me is that they had Hot Wheels growing up, or their brother had Hot Wheels growing up and they played with the great track sets and cars that we made. So it really is just a multi-generational brand from kids and collectors alike. And I think it really shows in the overall passion of the designers and the passion from our fans and collectors. But it's a lot of cars. It is so many cars. So yeah, that wraps up our Q&A. I hope you guys enjoyed a little behind the scenes from the designers. I just want to say thank you to Bryan, Chris, and Sam for joining me today. This would not have been the same without you. Giving everyone their Hot Wheels fix for San Diego Comic-Con at Home 2020 discussion today. And I hope you all are enjoying the rest of your weekend, to continuing to explore the wonderful world of entertainment, the wonderful offerings that Mattel has, snatching up as many exclusives as you can get. But Chris, Bryan, and Sam, any words as we are finishing up this panel?
Thanks a lot. It was a pleasure to be on this panel. It's so exciting to talk to the fans and to just give you guys the information, kind of the behind the scenes info on what we're working on.
Yeah, I just want to say thanks. I mean, thanks to you, to Molly, for kind of hosting this whole thing for us. It's really good. I mean, it's hard. It's not easy. And yeah, I mean, it's cool just to have the chance to, talk to the fans. It's awesome and fulfilling to have people care so much about what you do as a job. So, it's just cool. So, the more we can talk to the fans, the better.
Absolutely. It's what fans, make us want to do more and strive to be better in everything that we do. And, it's like we're having fun, you're having fun. And thank you so much for all your support for all those years. So, and thanks, Molly.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad. I hope you guys enjoyed that. And signing off for Hot Wheels, thank you guys so much. And everyone, please stay safe and be well.